Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? I know you haven't heard from me in a minute. It's been a couple months. I do apologize. It's been a crazy couple months. On top of this COVID-19, aka the coronavirus, with everything going on, I wish everybody out there safe. Make sure you stay at home. As much as I want to go crabbing, as much as I want to go fishing, we all need to do our part, stay home, and make sure that we keep ourselves and our families safe, okay? So during this time, I wish everybody best of luck. Make sure you take care of yourself, and let's knock this thing out so we can get back outdoors. On top of the COVID, there's been a lot of personal things that's going on in my life. Good things, not bad things, good things. You know, and I've been dealing with that, trying to put some things together in my personal life. You know, everybody grows up, and this is a shout out to my #1 fan. You know who you are, my #1 fan. This is my shout out to you. I appreciate you more than anything in this world, so you know who you are, okay? So with this, so much going on. Everything that's going on, I haven't put out any videos. Quite honestly, I haven't been out there much either. So I haven't been doing really much of anything. But this video is long overdue, and I do apologize to all my fans out there for not putting it out when I was supposed to, as I promised. And I apologize for the delay, but I promise you, I'm going to give you everything, okay? After this introductory video, there's going to be roughly about 8 other videos that's going to come out back to back to introduce recreational crabbing in California. So after the 8 videos that I'm about to push out back to back, I'm going to push out another 7 videos on top of it, all related to recreational Dungeness crabbing in California. So what I'm going to do is pretty much I'm going to give you all of my secrets, all of my experiences, and everything that I know when it comes to recreational crabbing in California, all the way down to making your snares. So introductory video, this is what this is, an introductory for all the beginners, so that way they learn. Let me tell you, in California, we are blessed. We are blessed to be able to catch Dungeness crab and be able to enjoy that luxury item. Most people don't. Most people don't have that luxury. So we are very blessed here in the West Coast. With all the information I'm going to provide to you in the next couple videos, hopefully this will get you motivated and get you enthusiastic about going out there and trying out recreational crabbing. Catch a Dungeness crab, go home, cook your own fresh crab, nothing better. So I'm going to give you all my secrets in the next couple videos. I'm going to show you everything that I've learned in the past 1.5 years about recreational crabbing and how to make these snares right here. Let me tell you, these are my special made snares. These are from trial and errors. Man, you should see my first set of snares. These were horrible. But let me tell you, no matter how horrible your snares are, all snares work. All snares work. Mine just work a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to show you how to make my snares. And this is what these videos are about. Introductory to recreational crabbing in California. How to make these wonderful moon snares. These are AKA moon snares, y'all. So I'm teaching you how to make those moon snares, all the way down to the logistic of how to catch Dungeness crabs out here in California. So I hope you enjoy these videos, and I hope you learn something from it, and I hope you go out there and try it yourself. And take the family out there, alright? Because it's a great family event. Take the kids out there, take the family out there, let them enjoy the outdoors, let them enjoy some fishing, some crabbing, and let me tell you, they're going to love it. So I hope you guys enjoy these next couple videos that I'm going to push out in the next couple of weeks. Alright, so here's the first thing you need to know about Dungeness crabbing in California, okay? Especially on the West Coast. The first thing you need is a fishing license. You got to go get your fishing license, okay? It looks something like this. And you can go to Big 5, any sporting goods store. You can call them up, ask them if their fishing license machine is working first, because a lot of machines don't work for whatever reason. But call them first, make sure it's working, go out there, and it's going to cost you exactly, for this year, $66.96, and that's because I got an additional rod to go with it too, so I can have 2 rods. But normally, your price for your fishing license is like $51.62. So for $51.62, your fishing license is good from January all the way to December, and then you got to get another one every January to December. No matter where you buy your fishing license along the year, you're good to the end of December, and then you got to get you another one. So go get you a fishing license. Now, in California, there's a special lifetime program where you can go and pay like $800-900, and the prices varies depending on your age. For me, wise, I believe it's like $800-900 for my age. I'm 36. And it's a lifetime fishing permit. They send you a brand new fishing permit every single year for the rest of your life. And so if you have kids at a young age, invest in that. You go outdoors a lot, get them a lifetime fishing permit for like $300, $400, $500 or something. And for a lifetime, for the rest of their lives, they'll get a fishing permit every single year without having to buy another one. So if you go outdoors a lot and you like to do a lot of fishing, I recommend that. Now, do you need a fishing permit in order to fish on any public pier? No. Public jetty? No. Okay, so any public pier, public jetty, you do not need a fishing license. Okay, you're allowed up to 2 rods unless they tell you otherwise. You're allowed up to 2 poles and 2 rods. That's it. So you don't need a license if you're fishing on a public jetty or on a public pier. Now, if you're fishing on the beach, you need your fishing license. So when you're crabbing on a beach, you will need your fishing license. Okay, so make sure you have that. That's the first thing you need to know. Now, the next question is, where do I go crabbing? Where are the best places to go crabbing on the West Coast? Mostly in Northern California. Southern California, the water is a little bit too warm, so the Dungeness crab don't go that far. Down there, they have spiny lobsters. They do lobster down there. Up here, we do Dungeness crab from pretty much Monterey Bay all the way up north, Oregon, Washington. That's where we do Dungeness crab. Now here in the Bay Area, some of the places you can go to catch Dungeness crab is Half Moon Bay Jetty, okay? Pillar Point is next to Half Moon Bay. It's like literally right next to Half Moon Bay. But Pillar Point is like a little pier that is probably about maybe 20 feet long that is within a harbor. So you don't really catch nothing there. There is also Pacifica Pier. There is Baker's Beach, Ocean Beach, Bodega Bay. These are some of the best places to go catch Dungeness crabs in the Bay Area. So I suggest take a look on this map here. Take a look on this map. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the areas that I am talking about and pinpoint on the map so you can see for yourself. These are the areas are best to go crabbing at. Now literally, if you can find any place along the coast that will give you access to the ocean that you can literally throw down, that's not throw your snares down, throw your moon snares down without getting too rocky and get caught up, you can pretty much catch crabs anywhere in the West Coast. But these are the best places to go because they're sandy, they're a little bit more protective, the water's a little bit colder. Pretty much the further north you go, the better the habitat is for the Dungeness crab. So, with that being said, I fish anywhere from Monterey Bay, Pillar Point, Pacifica Pier, Baker's Beach, Ocean Beach, Bodega Bay, all the way up to Crescent City. We went all the way up to Crescent City to do some crabbing. So check out that video that I put out a couple months back when me and my boy King Crab, we went up to Crescent City to do a little bit of crabbing up there to see how it is. So these are the best areas to go ahead and try your luck when it comes to Dungeness crabs. The next thing you need to know is your gear. What kind of gear do you need to go do some Dungeness crabbing? First, it's your poles, your reel. They need to be strong. You need to have the right ones. You can't just go out there with some freshwater poles and reels and think it's going to happen. It's not, okay? And there are other things that you can use. You can use nets. You can use cage. You can use crabs, snares. There are different type of ways to catch Dungeness crabs. And Dungeness crabs aren't the only crabs out there that you can eat. You can eat rock crabs, red crabs, yellow crabs. Those are the crabs out here that we catch. But the reason why we like Dungeness over those other crabs is because there tends to be more meat. Okay, that's the reason why. More meat in the body. But you can catch different type of crabs out here. But when it comes to gear, this is the minimal gear that you need. Okay. The first thing you need is at least a pole that is between 10 to 12 feet. Don't go below 10. Now, the only time you go above 12 feet, 12 to 15 feet for a pole is when you're crabbing on a beach. If you're not crabbing on a beach, don't go past 12. So if you go to the pier, you go to the jetty, keep it between 10 and 12. If you go on the beach, 12 to 15, no problem. I actually have a 15-foot pole back there. That's a 15-foot pole. So that I use that for the beach most of the time. Now, this is what I do. Now, it's up to you. What kind of post? What kind of post? You could buy the most expensive, or you could buy the cheapest. Here's what I recommend. Okay, when it comes to pole, like this one right here, my diesel. I love my 10-foot diesel. Okay, my 10-foot diesel has a very flexible tip. You want a pole that has a flexible tip. Is it mandatory? Not really. Why do you want a flexible tip? With the flexible tip, you can cast your moon snares out further, and the further you cast it out, the better, more crabs is out there. So this is my 10-foot, and I love my diesel. It's lasted me for years, and let me tell you, I put it under tremendous stress. And this thing is one of the best poles out there. Diesel, they make great poles. You can get you a cheap one at Walmart. This is an alpha pole. Okay, the alpha pole, this is my 12-foot alpha pole, and they're roughly about 30 bucks at Walmart. And let me tell you, if you clean them off and you take care of them throughout the season, every time you use it, this can last you a couple seasons, no problem at all. So these poles are pretty good for 30 bucks, and they go under tremendous stress as well. For 30 bucks, go to Walmart, grab you something, no problem, right? Now, when it comes to reels, let me tell you, you want a 5,000 series or higher, okay? Anything below that, you're pulling in roughly about 2 to 3 pounds. So you want a reel that's strong enough to be able to sustain that. Now, here's what I have. I have a Pursuit 3, okay? This will allow you to pull in the crabs very smoothly. Over here, I have my Penn Fierce 2. This is my Penn Fierce 2 8,000 series, okay? So this is probably a pretty good one. It'll cost you about 80, 90 bucks. 80, 90 bucks to get a 5,000 series or higher. 8,000 series, 80, 90 bucks. 5,000, probably about 50, 60 bucks. But you want to get a 5,000 series or higher because they go under tremendous stress. So you don't want to get nothing too small. Otherwise, it's really not going to work out for you. You're not going to be able to pull up the crab. You're going to lose the crab. You're going to break it before the season even over. It's not even worth it. So the smallest that I would probably go is this right here. This is my Penn Fierce 2 6,000 series, okay? So this is my 6,000 series, and look how small it is compared to my 8,000 series, okay? So the smallest I would recommend going is probably about the 6,000 series, okay? And this will cost you about 60 bucks, 70 bucks, 60 bucks if you get it on sale. So this is what I recommend. Now, that's a little bit, for me, why that's about mid-range. You know, I could buy a $200 reel, but quite honestly, anything above $150, a $150 reel to go crabbing, is pretty much, for me, it's a waste. Because let me tell you, this right here, this is a Shakespeare contender, roughly about probably 6,000 series. This right here at Walmart, it's probably about 35 bucks, 40 bucks. And if you do a good job keeping it clean and maintain it throughout the season, this will last you a couple seasons. And let me tell you, this reel, for it to be so cheap, it's pretty strong. It's pretty durable. I mean, your handle will probably break off before your reel stops working. You know, because you're pulling in so much weight, you're putting so much pressure onto the handle. And let me tell you, I had a couple of these, and this one lasted me 2 seasons. Like my other one, my handle broke before my reel even went out on me. So these, actually, for Walmart for 35, 40 bucks, this is pretty good. So here, when it comes to gear, here's my summary, okay? Get you a 5,000 series or higher reel, okay? Get you a 10 to 12 foot pole with a flexible tip. Now, you want to go mid-range, get you a Penn. Get you a Penn and get you a diesel, and that will probably put you up there roughly about 150 bucks, okay? You want to go on the lower end, go get you an alpha pole. Okay, go get you an alpha pole and a Shakespeare reel for a total of maybe about 60, 70 bucks, and that will do you good as well. And let me tell you, if I can go back, I have no problem using the contender reel and the alpha pole, no problem at all. So that's your option. You go out there, you can get more expensive stuff, but let me tell you, for crabbing, I don't recommend it. You know, it's fun. You don't waste your money on it. Okay, so that's my recommendations, guys. All right. So now, when it comes to your fishing lines, okay, you see a lot of it's green. Okay, here's the reason for that. You can't see clear out there. You can't see your lines out there if your line is clear. Use color lines. Red doesn't work very well. Green, bright colors like this, they tend to be a little bit better so you can see your line out there. You don't want to cross your lines, okay? Okay, my recommendation, mono, between 30 to 35 pounds, okay? More than that, it's way too heavy. Less than that, your line may break. So my recommendation, get you a 30, 35 pound mono, you're good to go. Now, if you're fishing on a pier, you don't want to use braided lines. That's a no-no. And let me tell you, a lot of people are going to get upset and mad at you if you use braided line. Yes, braided line can give you more sensitivity to feel. However, this is not fishing. You don't need to feel. Okay, you can't feel the crab on it anyway. And your braided line is easily it's going to be easily get tangled with other lines out there because it's so soft. Okay, it's not as straight and stringent as these. Your braided line is going to eventually get tangled into other people. They're going to get pissed off. Okay, that's one. Secondly, if your line get tangled into other people and you pull it too much, eventually, if your braided line goes like this to other mono lines too many times, you can actually cut their mono line. And they're going to be really mad because not only did you cut their line, they lost a snare because of it as well. So if you're on the pier, do not use braided line. Now, if you're on the beach, you want to use braided line, that's fine. You're on a jetty, you want to use braided line, that's fine because there's plenty of space. On the pier, there's not that much space, okay? Don't use braided line on the pier. That's a no-no, all right? So 30, 35 pound mono, bright colors, you're good to go. And at the end of your line, you want to attach a swivel, okay? Because that's what you hang your crab snares on. So you want to go ahead and attach a swivel to the end of your line, and you should be good to go. Okay, so the second gear that you need are crab snares, okay? Crab snares, this is what crab snares look like, and quite honestly, all these videos is pertaining to crab snares. I'm going to teach you how to make it. I'm going to show you different style. I'm going to show you my designs and so forth, but you need crab snares. This is what we use to catch crabs with out here. And if you watch my other videos, you'll see a lot of examples of that. So crab snares is definitely a must. And like I said, let me tell you, I've seen crab snares where it's the worst of the worst, and they catch more crabs than me on any given day. Sometimes it's pure luck, but these crab snares, if we were on equal terms, I would end up catching more because my crab snares are a lot better, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're going to go into detail on the scientific of it, and there is actually a little bit more detail on this, and I was surprised when I got into it as well. I learned a lot along the way. I made a lot of mistakes, and I test trout a lot. Like I spent probably about $2,000 in the last year and a half to better my craft when it comes to just recreational crabbing. That's it. Not freshwater fishing, not saltwater fishing, just crabbing, right? So I didn't think there was a lot into it. Now, if you want to be good, you want to enjoy the hobby, this is what you put in. So this is what you need. You need some crab snares, and I'm gonna teach you how to make these. You can buy them at Walmart. When you buy them at Walmart and other Dick's and other places like that, they don't come with weights on them. They don't come with lead weights. This is what they look like. They're not the best. You can use them so forth. They'll work. You catch one or two. You catch a couple, but they're not the best. Okay. And quite honestly, when it comes to commercial snares, no manufacturer make these type of snares because one, it costs too much to make. Two, it's too time consuming. Okay. So there is no way that somebody can mass produce these and make a profit out of them and marginalize the cost to be effective. No way possible. So that's why a lot of us, we make our own, and I learned a lot along the way. So this is what I'm gonna teach you how to make, so that way you can do it yourself. Okay. Another equipment that you're gonna need mandatory is this right here, because once you catch your crabs, you got to put it in a bucket. Okay, you got to put it in a bucket. There you go. So you're going to need a bucket, okay? You need a bucket to put your crabs in. Now this right here, the reason why we have an aerator, okay? Because if you put salt water into this bucket and put crabs in it without putting the aerator, it's going to die within an hour, okay? Because there's no air in there. You need air to circulate in the water. So Hush Bubbles is probably one of the best aerator at the cheapest rate. Keep in mind, not the best, but the best at the cheapest rate. Okay, this lasts me probably about the whole year and a half. It goes use some double D batteries, and what it does is here it comes with very flim it comes with very slim tubing. Okay, so this is actually a 1/4 inch tubing that is bought. It's more heavy duty. It's connected to that tip inside right there, and the air blows out and it goes down all the way down. Now mine is special made. I put a cage and a weight inside my bubbler, the aerator where the air comes out. One, because I need that to stay at the very bottom and the air to push up. Number two, the crab is going to mess with it and I don't want them to break that. So by encasing it into a steel cage, they can't touch it. Okay, so that's the reason why I have that rigged up like that. So all the way up on, and the reason why I have two is actually because I have two aerators. You know, just in case one goes out, I have the other one as a backup. And sometimes, you know, I use both because I have like, you know, 10 crabs in here, so I want them to have plenty of air. So that's what I keep them in. Now, let me tell you, if you go out there, you catch a crab, you go home within like an hour or two, no problem. You don't need one of these. You're good. Okay, put it on ice and you eat it right away, you good. Me, I tend to be out there a little bit more than just an hour and I want my crabs to stay fresh. So that's the reason why I have that. And you see a lot of people. Now, when we go out there, you see how I pull salt water up. We use salt water. We don't use fresh water to do it, okay? And we use buckets tied onto ropes. And I'm going to show you how to rig that up as well. Matter of fact, here is my bucket here. This is all my crabbing stuff. So here is my bucket of water, okay? And I'm going to show you how it works as well. So pretty much, get all this out here. So here is my bucket that I use. Here's my bucket that I use to get salt water when I'm on the pier, to make it a lot easier, okay? So I get a little bucket. I tie a weight to one end of it, so that way when the bucket goes down, the water, it leans a little bit. So that side right there, that's where the water comes in, where the weight is. And when it comes in, it push that bucket a little bit more. So when I pull it up, it goes straight up. The bucket's full of water, and I use this rope to go ahead and pull it up. The rope, I got a Home Depot. Get you a 100 feet rope, you should be good to go. Okay, get you a 100 feet rope. Don't get those big bulky ones. That's just too big. This small one, this lasts me 2 seasons, no problem. Okay, and then I attached it to the handle to make sure that it can hit in the middle, because if anything's touching it and doesn't hit in the middle to the side, you won't pull it up. So you want to make sure there's no obstruction and that it'll slide through in the middle. Okay, so that way when you pull it up, you're good to go. And here I'm gonna show you, and this video shows you what it is to pull your water up. Okay, so get you a bucket. So bucket of water for the crabs, a bucket to get your salt water. That's what you need. All right, so the last and final equipment you're going to need is a crab cage, okay? And this is the law. You must have one of these while you're crabbing at any given time, and it's one per person. And again, it's the law, so you must have it. This helps you measure the crabs. This you can get one at Walmart for about $2 to $3. Get you two, just in case one breaks, you have a backup, okay? So you never want to get caught without one of these, all right? And then this measures the crab. Okay, let's see if we can see the minimum at 5 3/4. Okay, and then it goes up into 6 inch, and then it goes up into 6.5 inch. Okay, so that's how you measure, and you measure from that all the way to there. And watch my other videos, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So again, this is how you measure a crab. Make sure you go ahead and grab you one of these. All right. Now, the next item that you need is your bait. You can't go fishing with crab. You can't go crabbing without bait. You need bait, okay? The bait that I like to use most is pike, mackerel. Any fish that's oily is pretty good, and squid. Those are the only bait that I really use. Everything else, yeah, they may work, they may not work. Yeah, it's great to try out. You could try bacon, you could try hot dogs. You can even cut up some chicken and throw them up in there too. You know, crabs, they're not picky, they'll eat anything, but they're more attracted to pike, mackerel, or squid, and that's what I prefer using, you know. So go ahead and get those bait, use those bait. You can try other baits if you want to see if it works, but let me tell you, you probably save yourself a lot of money just by going to get these things and use it themselves. I tried every bait out there. Things that you wouldn't figure. I tried pork chops. bacon. I tried other fish, catfish. I tried other. I pretty much tried everything. I tried putting crab scents on there. I tried putting scent and paste. I tried pretty much everything. And let me tell you, when it breaks down to it, use your mackerel, your pike, your squid. You're good to go. You don't really need anything else, and that'll work fine. So when it comes to recreational crabbing and the basic equipment, that's all you really need. You need your pole, you need your reel, you need your moon snares, you need your bucket of water and your aerator, and again, that's optional depending on how long you're out there. And you need your bait. You go out there with those things, you can catch crabs. Done deal. You don't need to use anything else. Now, there are other equipments that you can use. Let me show you, okay? So there are other things that you can use. Like you see a lot of people using the round crab cage, the nets, double ring, 1 ring, 2 ring, okay, elevated up, the laying flat crab net, and the crab cage that folds into a rectangular cage, okay. Let me tell you, you can use this, okay. You're not going to get much luck. Not out here on the West Coast, not on the piers, definitely not on the jetty, and definitely not on the beach. You don't want to use this on the jetty or the beach. Jetty, it's just going to get stuck. It's going to get stuck. You're not going to get it out. When it comes to beach, you can't even go far enough to throw these out. So they're not worth it. When it comes to Dungeness crab, recreational crabbing from land, they're not good. Now, if you have a kayak, you have a boat, these are awesome. Matter of fact, if you have a boat and kayak, I recommend using one of these cage or one of these. You know, cage is photo boat, easier to carry, great stuff. So if you have a kayak or boat, I recommend that. But when you crabbing from land, these are no good. So don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Let me tell you, I've been out there to pier. I see a family come out there. They buy $200 worth of gear like this. They go out there. Within 20 minutes, they realize it don't work. And because they're never going to crab again, they leave all their stuff out there. And they're like, forget it. And it's just a waste. Don't waste your money, people. Okay? Unless you're on a kayak or a boat. Let me tell you, folks, don't waste your money. Okay? This is just a waste. All right? That's my recommendation to you. Now, you're going to see that in my other videos, I have a lot more gear than just the basic pole, snare, and bait, right? I have more than that. Well, there's a reason why I have more than that, because I like to enjoy myself, be out there all day, things like that. So I'm going to go into further depth later on why I have all these gears. But if you take a look at my other videos, you see all my gear. Here's the reason why I have these gears. I have my backpack to make sure that I have everything that I need to fix my snares and fix my poles in case something goes wrong. I also like to enjoy the outdoor. I like to cook, so a lot of it is my portable stove, propane stove, and things that I like to cook with, and be able to enjoy the outdoors all day, including my ice chest where I keep all my frozen items, my frozen bait and things like that in, and pretty much really relax. I even have my pods. My weather pods, and these are the pods I use in case it gets way too cold, in case the rain is coming down like crazy. When those two things happen, I don't want to be just exposed to the environment. I don't want to go home early, so I have this pod to keep me sheltered. Let me tell you, it's done amazing. I love these weather pods, and you can see in my other videos how you put them to use. They're eye-catching. Everybody turn around, everybody see them. If you're watching this video, I sent for the weather pods. Anybody whoever invented the weather pods, I try to reach out to your company to see if we could do a sponsorship, so that way we can collab. But nobody got back to me. Actually, one person did get back to me, and then I tried to reach out to them. We were supposed to have an interview, phone interview, but that phone interview never happened. I guess they got too busy, or whatever happened. But if you're watching this and you created the weather pod, let me tell you, your product is amazing, and I want to expose it to the world. So hit me up. Check my contact link. Hit me up. Let's see if we can collab together. But if you're folks out there, go get you a weather pod. The weather pod is good for the kids, and it's good for the wifey. Let me tell you, if the wife is not too interested, but she wants to do things with you, but the weather seems to get her down, get her a weather pod. She will be out there with you all day. Okay. On top of my weather pod, I have a Mr. Heater, my mini portable Mr. Heater. That thing can kick out so much heat, and it uses one of those 1 gallon propane tank. You know, so it uses this, and with this you plug it up to my Mr. Heater. You see my Mr. Heater in my other videos, and that will, with the weather pot, will keep your girl and will keep your wife warm the whole entire time. You know, you be good. So get you a weather pot. If you have cold issues, get you a little Mr. Heater. Bring the kids out there, bring the wife out there, and let me tell you, they'll spend all day out there with you with no complaints. All right, and man, that's a little hint for you. Make sure they're comfortable. All right, now that you have your fishing license, you have your gear, you have your moon snares, and you have your bait, you're good to go. But you can't just go out there and go crabbing, okay? It doesn't work like that. There's the other things you have to consider. You have to consider the weather, okay? Just because it's clear blue skies doesn't mean it's great weather for crabbing. You have to keep in mind of the swell, the surf, and the wind. These things play a big factor in your crabbing. If the swell's too high, if your surf is too high, and the wind is too high, it's going to be impossible for you to go crabbing. Why? If the swell and the surf is too high, they're moving like crazy. These snares, in order for it to work, it needs to stay flat and still at the bottom for the crabs to come and grab them. Okay? If they're not still and they're moving around at the bottom, you can't catch any crabs with it. Okay? So if the surf and the swell is too rough, there's no way there's no way you can catch crabs. If the wind is too high, like 15 miles an hour higher, it's hard for you to cast out there. And the wind is just going to blow your line. It's going to keep dragging. And if the wind is pretty high, sometimes correlated, you know, your swell and your surf is pretty high as well. Now, Moonwolf, where can I check these things? Well, where I go to check the weather is Surfline. I go to Surfline. I have an account with Surfline. Surfline will give me a projection within 2 weeks projection on the surf, what the surf is like, what the swell is like, and what the wind is like, okay? Surfline is mostly for surfers, but they show great conditions on the waves as well. So I use that to determine if it's good weather to go out there. Now, what is great weather? Well, you just have to try it out and test and see. Trial and error, okay? Because wind can be 10 miles an hour. People might see it's rough. I go out there, no problem. The swell might be about 8 feet, but there's no wind. Hey, I'm out there because my snares are pretty heavy. It'll stay down. It all depends, okay? The only time that I don't go out there is if the wind is above 12, 13, 14, 15 miles an hour, I don't go out there. If the swell is above 10 feet going at 3 seconds apart, 4 seconds apart, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, I don't go out there. That's just way too rough, okay? But I've been out there where the swell is going like, the swell is like 9 feet, 10 feet, but it's coming every 12 seconds, 13 seconds. So it's not too rough and my snares can sustain it, okay? So it's pretty much when it comes to the weather, you got to go out there and try it and see. Bad weather, hey, you know what? This is too bad. This weather is too bad for me. I can't crab out there. Or you say, you know what? This is not too bad. I can deal with this. So it's pretty much trial and error. But for me wise, let me tell you, anything above 13, 14, 15 miles an hour wind in combination of high swell and high surf, I don't go out there. Now again, Surfline is for surfers, but they give me good ideas of projections of what the surf and the swell is. So therefore, you know, I don't have to worry. Now Surfline. Creators of Surfline, I try to reach out to you folks as well and see if we can do some type of partnership. You know, I use your website a lot. I think it's a great website. It's very convenient, and I want to be able to recommend it to all the fishermen out there so that way they can use your site. I try to reach out to you guys. Nobody responded. So if you're interested, hey, hit your boy up, man. I'd love to collab with you guys, okay? Surfline, you guys have a great website. I hope you guys keep going. I hope during this COVID, you guys don't lose any subscribers. I love your site. Your site is a great site, okay? So, crabbers, before you go out there, just because you have your gear and your bait doesn't mean you can go out there and crab. You got to check the weather too. Now, for first-time crabbers, before you go out there crabbing, make sure you know the laws. Make sure you know the rules and the regulations, okay? You can't just go out there crab, catch crabs, and think that's it. There are a bunch of rules, okay? You need to remember them all because let me tell you, fish and game catch you, that's a big fine. You don't want that. Rules, check out my other videos. I have plenty of rules on there, but for this video, I'll go ahead and recap them again real quick, real brief. And if I miss any, catch my other videos. You'll see them, okay? First, you need to know when it's crabbing season. Well, in Northern California, from Mendocino and south all the way to Monterey, from Mendocino south all the way to Pillar Point. Our crabbing season is from the first Saturday of November all the way until the end of June. Okay, that's when our crabbing season is. Now, if you're north of Mendocino County, then you can actually go all the way into the end of July. Okay, so you need to know your crabbing season. That's very important, okay? Because if you go out there and catch Dungeness crab and take them home and you get caught during off season, oh, let me tell you, you're going to get a big fine. And people will tell on you because they can't go crabbing. And therefore, they're not going to let you go crabbing. All right, so make sure you follow that. Make sure you crab during that time frame. It's also good because during that time frame that they shut down, it's when the crab shells are too soft. They're about to mate. It's mating season. A lot of the female crabs are pregnant. So it's not a good time for crabbing, and you need the population to rebuild itself. It's about responsible fishing. It's about responsible crabbing, and it takes every fisherman to be responsible to keep this population going. So not only can I and you enjoy it right now, but our kids can enjoy it in the future as well. So make sure that you only go crabbing during the season, okay? Now, there are other rules: size limit, bag limit. Size limit is how big the crab has to be so that you can keep it. Bag limit is how many crabs in quantity you can keep per day. Okay, so the size limit for a Dungeness crab is 5 3/4 from spine to spinal. Okay, and then when it comes to bag limit, it's 10 Dungeness crab per person per day. Okay, so you can actually go out every day and catch 10 if you want. Okay, those are some of the regulations. When it comes to rock crabs, they have to be a minimum of 4 inches from spinal to spinal, and a bag limit of 35 per day. Okay, there's a bunch of rock crabs out there. Nobody really wants them anyway. So there are 35 rock crabs per day. You know, and let me tell you, rock crabs, if you have the patience, crack them open, get all the meat out, make like crab cakes, and make it with other crab items, you'll love it. Rock crabs are amazing, you know. Dungeness, they tend to be a little bit more meatier, and their body has a lot more meat. So that's why people like it. But when it comes to taste, let me tell you, I think rock crab tastes a lot better than Dungeness crabs. They're a lot sweeter. So you need to know the regulations, okay? In California, technically, you're allowed to keep females and male, okay? This is how you can tell between male and female. The female has a bigger apron, okay? That's that little apron. That's the little triangle on the back of the crabs underneath on the at the bottom underneath the crab, okay? The apron is a little bit wider, whereas the male crab, the apron is very narrow, okay? That's how you could tell the difference between a female and a male crab, both rock and Dungeness crab. Now, in California, recreational crabbing are allowed to keep both males and females that are within size limit. Commercial crabbers cannot keep females, and their size limit is a lot higher. We're not going to go into that in this video. That will be for another video for commercial crabbing. This is for recreational crabbing. So when it comes to recreational in California, you are allowed to keep both males and females that are within size limit. It's Washington and Oregon that you are not allowed to keep females at all. Okay, and I know there has been a lot of debate on that because people are not understanding the rules because we're so close to other states and other regulations, and we have commercial and recreation, so it can get confusing. Take my word for it. All right, okay? Now you are ready to go out there and go crabbing, okay? Because you have your license, you have your gear, you got your moon snares, okay? You have your bait, you know how to check the weather, the laws, the rules, the regulations. You have all that now. Take the kids out there, go crabbing, enjoy yourself. It's a fun recreational event. When you go out there, make sure you're respectful of other people around you. Try not to tangle your line. Be in an area. If this is your first time crabbing, don't go into an area where it's too crowded, okay? You're going to piss a lot of people off. Go where there's not that many people. Learn how to cast. Learn how to project your snares out there accurately. Know what you're doing before you go to an area where it's a little bit more crowded with people and crab around there, okay? For example, Pacifica Pier. You know what? Side topic. I did a lot of research. You know, in California, we don't have that many piers in Northern California that faces out to the coast where we can go crabbing. You know, when I checked, there's literally like 4 piers in Northern California from Half Moon Bay all the way up. Okay, there's literally like 4 piers that faces out to the ocean. Santa Cruz, okay, horrible for crabbing. Let me tell you, you can go to Santa Cruz if you crab if you want to. You're going to be very, very disappointed. You're going to catch a bunch of small ones. You might catch size limit rock crab here and there, but crabbing in Santa Cruz, horrible, okay? Pillar Point. Pillar Point is pretty much a dock. It's a dock that's about 20 feet long, barely any space, and it's within the harbor. There are the crabs that you catch there, again, small ones. You're not going to catch any good sized Dungeness crabs, not even rock crabs, okay? Pacific Pier is another one. It's a great pier. A lot of veterans go there. Go there, be respectful, ask around. You can learn a lot. If you see me out there, Pacific Pier, come say hi. Come say what's up. Now, let me tell you, I might not remember your name right away, but I'll remember your face, okay? I apologize ahead of time for not remembering your name. But come say hi. Come say hi. Introduce yourself. And ask any questions you want. I'm there. Because what is it about? It's about community. And if you see a lot of my videos when it comes to crabbing, when I first got out there, the reason why I'm doing all this video is because when I first started crabbing, I didn't get any help. One, two, I made a lot of mistakes, okay? Nobody wanted to teach. Nobody wanted to learn. So I had to learn everything on my own from scratch, from the beginning to end. I talked to a few people here and there. I looked at people. I watched. I observed people. And that's how I picked up my crabbing game, okay? It takes a lot to learn. So when you go out there, that's why I'm doing this video. It's because I feel like it's a great a hobby to do. It's a great fishing sport. It's great for the family. But it's not married. There are not many tutorial on how to go about it. And if you go out there, you know, people are not very helpful. You do it wrong. People get pissed off. It's like, you know, and it tears you away. If you see me out there, feel free to ask questions. I'll answer all the questions in the world. My number one rule is be respectful, be kind, build communities, help others. That's what it's all about. These are set of rules, you know. If you have questions, feel free, come ask me. Come holler at me. I'm good, you know. And that's what it's all about. And I love making new friends and I love meeting new people anyway, okay? So come holler at your boy. There is one up here in between. I forgot the exact location because I actually never been there. And I don't even know if you can fish and crab off the pier. It's technically like a fishing dock. But it's a pier that goes out roughly about maybe 20 yards or something like that. So it's not that big, but 20 yards, you know, it goes out. But it's more like a fishing dock rather than a pier. I don't know if you can crab out there or not. I actually never tried it myself. I'm going to do it one day. And then the only other pier is in Crescent City Street Pier. That pier is the one I did on the video, but that pier is within the harbor. Okay. Yes, it still faces the coast, but it's within the harbor. So in Northern California, you figure with so many fishermen, crabbers, that the state, hey, here's a recommendation, California, build some more piers, man. Get kids out there to enjoy fishing rather than doing bad stuff in the neighborhood that you always complain about. Build more piers. Let me tell you, 5 piers. 5 piers in Northern California that faces the Pacific Ocean. 5 piers, that's it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, you can't even, there's no crabbing. You can't even crab off them. Fishing is horrible, okay? There's really only 1 pier in Northern California that you can fish and crab that faces the Pacific coast that is actually deemed fishable, that you can actually catch something on it. That, to me, is something we need to work on in Northern California, okay? So my government officials, all my fishing game people, all my fishermen, you know, put in a voice, make your voice heard, that we need more piers in Northern California that face the Pacific coast that can cater to the public. It's good for the kids, it's good for the family. We want to encourage outdoor activities anyway. So, you know, that was very surprising for me that in Northern California, there's really not that many piers that faces the Pacific coast, you know. So these are the areas that you can go. So when you go, now that you have all your equipment, gear, you know, everything, go out there, enjoy yourself, have fun. The rest of this video and the next couple of videos I'm about to push out, it's going to focus on these snares, okay? These moon snares, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to catch you the crabs, and this is what's not being sold on a commercial scale that is that effective. And let me tell you, people take a look, oh, it's just a cage and some loops. And let me tell you, there's more science to go with this than I thought of. And when I show you how when I show you the dynamic of how the snares work, you're gonna say, oh wow, you know what? There's a lot more to it than that. For me, wise, the most enjoyable part for me during this whole process is making mistakes. I know that sounds a little weird, right? You have fun by making mistakes? That makes no sense. Let me tell you, I was motivated when I made mistakes, because when I went out there, my first set of snares, and I'm gonna show you my first set of snares in the other videos, they're horrible. I tried every shape, every size. I tried every loop, every line, and I'm gonna go in detail in the video. I tried everything, literally almost everything. And this is what I narrowed it down to that works the most effective. Okay, so I'm gonna the next couple of videos is going to go in depth more on how to make these snares and so forth. All right, so these are my different type of snares that I make. Okay, the first thing you need to know about my snares are, one, the different size of the cage. Okay, here's the difference. All right, this is my granola cage. So when we're talking about cage, we're just talking about where you put the bait at. So this is my granola cage. The reason why it's granola, because, you know, it's small, like a granola. Okay, that's my granola cage. My second cage is my brownie cage. Okay, it's a little bit more square, you know, as you can see, and it looks like a brownie. So that's my brownie cage. My other one is my Twinkie cage. Okay, it's like the granola, but one tier higher. Okay, so it's one tier higher. You can put a little bit more bait in there, and that's my Twinkie cage. So when it comes to my snares, I have three different type of cages: my granola, my brownie, and my Twinkie cage. Okay, so those are the three cages that you're going to learn how to make when it comes to making my crab snares, the moon snares. Okay, now that's one. The second part are the loops. Okay, these loops right here, this is my butterfly loops. Okay, the reason why it's my butterfly loop, because look, it looks like a butterfly. Okay, and these are flat. All right, see how the flat and they lay straight out. Okay, so these right here, that's my butterfly. Okay, let me show you my dragonfly. This is my dragonfly snare. Okay, the reason why it stands up, it stands out, as you can see. Okay, so it's a little bit different than my butterfly, which lays flat out. Okay, next I'm gonna show you my stingray. The stingray is this right here. It's like this, my butterfly, but it's not stuck to it. It's loose. Okay, let me take this off here. So that is my stingray. All right, my stingray is loose. Okay, it's flappy. Okay, because when you're underwater, the currents, they're going to go ahead and flap these around. Okay, so they're my stingray. That's my stingray. Okay, next you'll see my hybrid. Okay, this is my hybrid. My hybrid is a combination between the butterfly and the dragonfly. And you could put any combination you want. You could put the dragonflies at both ends and put the butterfly in the middle. Or you could do this, put the butterflies at both ends and the dragonfly in the middle. You see that? So that's my hybrid right there. Now, the question, why do I use these different styles? Well, that go back to my experience, you know. There is no one style that I believe is better than another. When a crab comes in, they come in and they try to take your bait. So therefore, when they try to take your bait, their claws are going to get stuck. So when you pull it, the claw's going to get stuck into the line. You see that? When it gets stuck, the crab gets stuck, it's going to pull into the line. So that is what crabs do. So same thing here. Crabs come in, and then you pull it. Okay, it gets stuck. So different styles, for me, in my opinion, they all work. Okay, in my opinion, they all work. Okay, the object of these snares is, one, your lines have to be able to close up and not pop back. Okay, but strong enough when you cast it out, it doesn't fold up and it stays sprung out. Okay, when it comes to the cages, you want them to be able to cast out very far. So you want the weight on one side and not the other. So we're going to go into details about why I make these the way I do when I showcase you how to make these snares. But this is just an example of the different type of snares that I use when I go. These are the different type of snares that I make. Okay. So again, you have my butterfly, dragonfly, you got my stingray, and you got my hybrid in 3 different type of cages. You got the granola, the brownie, and the Twinkie cage. Okay, so this is my introduction video to recreational crabbing in Northern California. Okay, here's how the next couple videos are going to be laid out. I'm gonna have a video on each step on how to make these crab snares. As far as what kind of cage mesh you want to use, to what kind of lines you want to use, to how to melt your lead, how to put everything together, how to create your leader lines, and how to loop up your snare lines. Okay, so I'm gonna teach each one of those. Each one of those steps will be in a different video. Okay, and there's a total of 8 videos that's going to go out. And after I'm done releasing how to make the basic crab snares, I'm gonna push out another 7 videos on how to make the different types of crab snares, such as the butterfly, the dragonfly, the stingray, the hybrid. I also have 2 more. I actually have the leaning tower, and the wasp. Okay, these are the 2 that I have. I didn't put the leaning tower in this videos, and I'm not going to. The reason why I'm not going to put out the leaning tower one, it's a round one, okay? It's a round snares. I'm not going to put that one out because my boy Weekend Fisherman, he actually put a video out on that already. And it's pretty much the same basic concept. I just twig mine a little bit differently. I do mine a little bit differently. When I made these leaning towers, it's round ones, these round snares. I call it the leaning tower. I made that actually, it was probably one of the first snares that I made before I made these right here. But Weekend Fisherman, he does a pretty good job with a video on how to make those. If you want to know how to make the round snares, go ahead and check out his YouTube channel, and you'll see how to make his round snares, okay? He called it something a little bit different. I call it the leaning tower. That's my round snares. But his is pretty much similar. Go check out his YouTube page, and you can learn how to make that as well. And I didn't have any more material to make the wasp. The wasp is pretty much, it's a different, the loop stands straight up. So I'm going to show you that down the line. So after I push out the videos on how to make a crab snare on the basic level, I'm going to push out another 7 videos on how to make these individual crab snare styles. So that way you can go ahead and make whichever one you want. I hope these videos it'll help you out. Let me tell you, the fun part for me was figuring out how to make it perfect, how to make it work. Once I've got there, I still love crabbing, but the motivation, it wasn't the same. When I made a bunch of mistakes and I went home and tried to fix them, went back out, tested them out, went back home, fixed them, like that process was the fun part for me, trying to figure out what was the best snare and how to make the best snare. When I make my snares, these are my goals. What is the quickest, cheapest, and the best quality snare I can make? Now, I can make better quality snares, but it's going to cost me more and it's going to take me longer. Okay, I could make cheaper snares, but it's not going to be the most effective. So when I make my snares, those are my goals. What is the cheapest, quickest, and most effective way to make a snare? Okay, so that's what you're gonna see. Again, I've seen snares that can take 3 hours and they look amazing. They work amazing. But 3 hours, I'm not about to spend 3 hours making a snare. That's not happening. I've seen snares that are very expensive. They use top things and make it look very nice. I'm not about to spend all that money just to make a crab snare. I've seen snares that are very cheap. They make it very, very cheap, but they don't work as well, and that's not what I want either. So my goals when I make the moon snares is what is the quickest, the cheapest, okay, and the best quality of snare, okay. So that's what I do. That's what my snares are all about. So watch the rest of the videos. I hope you get something out of this. I hope you find the same motivation that I found in the learning process, okay? Because quite honestly, let me tell you, the learning process is the funnest part of all this. So again, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, make sure that you click the bell and hit the like button as well, okay? Share my channel. I would really do appreciate that. To all my fans out there, I apologize these videos took so long to come out. I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you get something out of them. Peace out.